Hey guys, John Stevens here again at Working Man Success. Give you some more ideas about how to work your way up the ladder of success and build a great life for you and your family. And so, guys, I want to talk to you today about what I think is one of the most misunderstood things that we deal with, or everybody deals with. Every human deals with this, and I think most people have a very misunderstanding of it. And it's low energy, right? When you have low energy and you just don't feel like doing things, you get in this slump, and it's day after day after day. You get in this slump of just like not driving forward, not producing, not moving your life forward. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today. Energy, people think when they have low energy and they get to the point in their life where they're not moving forward and they just don't feel like producing and they don't feel like getting up and getting after it, right? They, in their minds, and it's natural to think this, but in their minds they need more rest. They need to sit around, they need to relax, they need to save up their energy and all this stuff. I'm here to tell you, like, every once in a while that may be true. If you've been running 7 days a week, 12, 13, 14 hours a day for a long period of time, you may need a day off. You may need to rest a day. But most of the time, that's not the case. Most of the time, when we're running low on energy, energy is a supply and demand thing. And if we don't demand it, our bodies don't supply it. Have you ever wondered why the person that sits around on the couch all day and does absolutely nothing, they watch TV all day, their yard looks like a complete disaster because they don't clean their yard, and like they absolutely do nothing. It's hard to get these people to move. It's like they just do not want to do anything, and they use very little energy. Now, if energy depended on saving energy up, well, these would be the most energized people in the world, right? The more you sit around and do nothing, you would think you would have a lot more energy. Now, if you think about the guy that works 10 hours every day, and then he does a workout every day, and then he runs 5 miles, and then he has a side hustle after he gets home from work, and he does this day after day after day after day, and he has always got energy to do whatever comes up. He's always got a lot more energy than the guy sitting around. Well, that debunks the ideal that saving your energy is how do you have energy. Needing to sit around and do nothing will somehow make you more energized. It's total bullshit. Energy is a supply and demand thing. If you don't demand energy from your body, well, it's not going to supply it. The guy that sits around all the time is telling his body that he does not need energy, that he needs a very little amount of energy, probably just enough to get back and forth to the kitchen and the bathroom, you know? So his body does not supply him the energy that he needs. And when you go from day to day to day like this, well, what you did today is going to dictate how much your body thinks it needs to supply for you tomorrow. And the guy that is always on the move, he gets up, he jumps out of bed when the alarm clock goes off, he puts on his shoes, he goes for a run, gets a workout in, goes to work, works all day, and comes in and works on his side hustle. He takes his wife out to dinner, and it's just like he's always moving, he's always going, and this guy is energized. You would think that guy gets wore out, but he never does. He always is moving forward, he's always producing. And it's because on a daily basis, he's telling his body that I need energy. I've got stuff to do. I'm very active. I've got goals. I've got purposes, and I've got a family, and I've got work, and like I want to move. And so when you tell your body that stuff, and I ain't talking about verbally, I'm talking about through your actions. When you're constantly, the way you act is telling your body that you need more energy, well, the next day it's always supplying that energy over and over and over and over. And like I said, sometimes this guy gets to the point where he needs to take a break. But normally, generally, 99% of the time, it's because that he has purpose and he has reasons to keep going, and he's demanding a certain amount of energy from his body today. And when he does that, tomorrow his body is already in the habit of producing that energy. The guy sitting on the couch, it's hard to get him to move because yesterday he didn't do anything. So today his body's it didn't supply the energy because he has built a habit in his body that it doesn't need much energy. Think about a power plant, guys. I work in a lot of power plants, and a power plant generates energy. It doesn't save energy. It doesn't sit there and do nothing, and all the energy just comes to it. And it generates. There's a tremendous amount of moving parts and energy that it works all the time to generate energy. And that's what supplies us with light. That's what supplies all our power tools. It supplies everything we do. And that power plant is constantly running 24 hours a day, and it generates energy. It doesn't save energy, it generates it the same way we do. An engine, the more RPMs it's turning, the more energy it's producing. So guys, if you can get that through your head, it's a hard concept to implement. It may be easy to understand, but it is hard to, if you're in the habit of not demanding a lot of energy from yourself, it's really hard to get into the mode of demanding energy. But once you start building that habit over weeks and months, your body becomes used of producing the energy for you. And then every day, like, you have more energy and more energy and more energy. So keep that in mind, guys. If you want to feel good and you want to have a lot of energy tomorrow, use your energy today. Demand energy from your body because it will produce it. Now, you've got to get your sleep. You've got to fuel your body with the right fuel source. A power plant cannot run if it doesn't have a fuel source. An engine cannot run if it doesn't have the right fuel source. Your body cannot produce energy if it doesn't have the right fuel source. So you got to take that into consideration. But usually, most of the time, a low energy person is low energy because they're not active. They don't demand the energy from their body. So guys, if you can get that through your head and keep it in your head, I think that it's going to serve you well. And just remember, energy is a supply and demand thing. If you don't demand it, your body will not supply it. So get in the habit of demanding energy. Make yourself move. Make yourself, get a hobby. Get something to fill up your spare time instead of scrolling and sitting in front of the TV. Guys, if you thought that was beneficial, hit the share button. Send it to somebody who needs to hear it, and give me a like, give me a subscribe. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Thanks for listening, guys.